Hey everybody, we're back. Big win last night. The city is pumped up. Everybody's excited, but let's talk about something equally as exciting, and that is buying a home with a suited basement. Josh, how you doing
How you
today?
doing? I'm doing fantastic, Jay. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. So I've had lots of clients that have been reaching out to me asking like, hey, my pre-approval is this, but I really want a suited home. I don't know how we're going to do it. So Josh, how are we going to buy a suited home here in Alberta in 2024?
Okay, well, a suited home is a fantastic way to increase the amount of money that you're eligible to borrow when buying a home because we're allowed to use the extra income that's generated through the suite, as well as reduce some of the items that make it so you don't qualify for as much. So I'm seeing that people are qualifying to spend about $130,000 more on a home if it has a basement suite in it than if it doesn't. Normally speaking, when you're looking to qualify to buy a home, what happens is we're allowed to use up to 39% of your monthly income to go toward the housing costs. That's the mortgage payment, the property taxes, and the heating, condo fees, if applicable, that sort of thing. So, if it's more than 39%, you can't go there. And that really does hurt. So, for example, if somebody has a $10,000 a month income, that's 120 grand a year, maybe it's two people with their income, maybe some Canada Child Benefit, however it is that that household gets there. That means we're allowed to use $3,900 a month to go toward qualifying. If with some estimates for what the property taxes are of say $375 per month and $100 a month in heating, that really only leaves us with $2,842 that's eligible to go toward that mortgage payment. And with current interest rates at about 4.99%, we do have to run the stress test at 6.99. That mortgage payment over the 25 years really only gets us with a 5% down payment to a maximum price of $495,000. Imagine a $120,000 household income and you still can't even buy a $500,000 home simply because interest rates are higher than they have been historically. This is the clincher. If you're looking to purchase more home than your income would allow you to be, whether it's because you have a healthy $120,000 income, maybe income's a little lower. There's lots of reasons to look at this, but I'll kind of keep that same example going here, right? If we take that same income level and now we add a suite, and let's conservatively say that basement suite's going to generate $1,000 a month. Now we have $11,000 a month in income that we're allowed to use to go toward qualifying. And the same 39% rule applies, but that's now $4,290 a month that can go toward qualifying. But here's where it really gets exciting is that we're allowed to ignore the taxes and the heating in those calculations. So now that $4,290 just has to be applied to the mortgage payment alone. With that in mind now, assuming the same minimum down payment, that same income level, instead of capping out at $495,000, now it gets all the way to $620,000. Jay, you and I've talked about the difference in price. Let's say you are buying something brand new. If you can get a home at $495,000, how much more would a bit more home be if you're also getting it with a basement suite?
Yeah, so the difference is absolutely huge to be able to add that on. What we're finding right now is the legal basement suite is adding 50 to 60 to maybe even $70,000 on top of the purchase price. So
Right.
you can really soup up your house for the difference, right? I think that's the difference between going from a duplex to a single family like detached, or even going from a rear laned house with the garage in the back to a front attached garage. So this is massive. This is really, really great.
Yeah, it could really make that difference, right? So it might end up being that you don't actually end up spending as much as your new pre-approval number would be. In this example, it took us from 495 all the way up to $620,000 as our maximum price. But if you wanted to get a suited home equivalent, you might only have to be as high as 560. So this actually could help somebody get that 560 house when normally they would only be in the mid 400s. So maybe they could have only gotten that half duplex and now they can get a suited single family home. Right. So it can make a massive difference. And, remember how we talked about it being $1,000 a month basement rental, more or less? Well, the difference in mortgage payment on a monthly basis, assuming minimum down payment in all cases, at 495 is $2,842. add enough to make it, 65,000 more so it can have a suite in it. Well, the monthly payment's only gone up less than $400, about $350 difference in monthly payment, but you've got $1,000 a month in basement rent coming in, and that $1,000 a month obviously far exceeding the increase in mortgage payment. So it also makes your home that much more affordable for you on a month-to-month cash flow basis. And should you decide to go all the way up to that much larger home, but still with a basement suite, you're still coming in about $300 a month less increase in payment than the $1,000 a month rent, right? So having that higher rent or having that rent coming in really does offset that mortgage payment. So not only are you getting much better house, you're paying less on a month-to-month basis. If you feel like having a basement suite is what's right, it can absolutely make a difference for you. And with the recent changes in zoning requirements throughout the city of Edmonton, it doesn't even need to be a legal suite. It can just be a suite that has a separate access and everything like that. But it doesn't have to be fully permitted and approved as a separate suite in order to pull off this trick. So that can make a big difference on some older homes in Edmonton. And of course, in the surrounding communities, it seems to be a lot easier now to get things permitted to have those legal suites in the basement as well. So Jay, I'll leave that with you and maybe you can wrap this up.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that does make a huge difference. I like that little picture there of, maybe the balance that's left over, you can use that paying your, utilities and the taxes. And so really you do certainly break even. I do think that the $1,000 a month is a little bit light, and probably you're going to achieve a bit more than that as well for the monthly income. So all in all, this is some really great news. So yeah, if you're looking for maybe some more information, reach out to one of us. We'll be able to certainly help you out, get you a consult with Josh. We put these videos out every single week. So like and subscribe, follow along, and we can't wait to talk to you next week.